Welcome everyone to AP Calculus. I am Mr. Engel. I'll be your math teacher this year. This introductory video will hopefully get you set up with the tools that you need to get started on everything today. So on Schoology, we've got our course AP Calculus BC. So I'm going to start out just take you through an overview of where everything is on Schoology. So first off, you got the class materials page. Within here, I always have a folder for the current unit. In our current unit folder, I have the unit calendar and the notes packet. You will be getting hard copies of each of those. If you're in cohort C, hopefully you already have those. If you are in cohort A, you will be getting those on Monday. But you have PDF versions of them here until then. Problem sets. We are going to have problem sets one each week. So I will keep in here just a PDF of the problem set. Again, you'll get hard copies of each of those. But if you wanted, cohort C people should already have their problem set. Cohort A, if you wanted to start it this weekend, you could open up the PDF and print that out and do it. Problem sets will always be due on Fridays. And they'll be due at 5 a.m. on Friday. And same thing, homeworks will always be due 5 a.m. on the day that it's due as well. The purpose for that is so you're not scrambling trying to get it done during the day. Because I can't physically collect them, because we have to try and stay 6 feet apart, turning them in electronically on Schoology will do for all homework assignments and for the problem sets as well. So here we have a folder for AP exam info. There's something in there that you will need to do. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Course expectations, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Signing up for Edpuzzle and Delta Math, we'll do that in this video. Google Meet login directions. So there's a short video there on how to log into our Google Meets. How we're going to at least start it out at the beginning of the year is you'll log in during the class time, and you'll just type in for the meeting name my last name, E-N-G-L-E, and I'll have that running, and you can just log in. Same thing, 9th period extra help. I'll have a Google Meet with that same name, my last name, E-N-G-L-E, running, and you can just pop in. Same thing for office hours on Wednesdays. We'll get eventually a schedule for office hours for each of the periods on Wednesdays. Just have to log in, type in my last name for the meeting, and I'll have that open, E-N-G-L-E. So by doing that, I think that'll keep it simple. It's always just going to be that name. Just keep in mind there is another Mr. Engel. His is spelled E-L at the end. Mine is L-E at the end. And I purposely put right at the top of the Schoology page, you have my last name spelled there in case you ever need it. We'll talk about the calculator stuff. And the last thing here, the bell schedule, that might be something that you want to either print out and keep at home or save to your device that you're using, because the bell schedule is different this year, and you'll need to know when to log on to each of your courses for live streams and things like that. So you have a PDF of that bell schedule right there. So that's our class materials and resources. You'll always have the folders for the week and the previous week on here. So you don't see those ones that are kind of dimmed a little bit. You only see the week of 9/11 to 9/18. So if you go in here, if you're watching this video, you've already gotten to this point here. So cohorts A and C and then B are doing separate things on Friday, today, and then Monday, and then Tuesday we'll all be together for the live stream in class. So those of you listening to this, cohort A, I'll see you in class on Monday, and cohort C, I'll see you live streaming the class on Monday. So make sure you've watched that signing into the Google Meet before the first time that you're going to be live streaming the class. So in here, we have tonight's or the weekend's homework, Unit 1, Day 1. Now the Day 1 homework problems, you'll just have to look at the calendar. So back in the Unit 1 resources, it lists all the homework problems on there. So what you'll do is you'll do the homework problems on a separate sheet of paper. You'll take pictures of it, and then it's due at 5 a.m. on the day it's due. So on Monday by 5 a.m., you have to take pictures of it and upload it right here to the assignment on Schoology. Our first problem set, this is where you would turn it in. Okay, now it might be easiest. It's also listed on the calendar. So let's just look there for a second. So on your calendar, you have all your assignments populated. So I have your class in purple. You can probably change the settings of what you want each class to be, but you could just click on purple this and you should be able to go to the assignment and turn it in there as well. So again, you'll always have a week to do the problem sets at least. If we have like a short week in there, sometimes I might give you a week and a half, 2 weeks for it. And then this is another thing that we've got to do in the first couple of days here is join my class for College Board. Each of your AP classes you need to join for that teacher. So there's probably, if you're taking multiple AP classes, several that you are going to have to do. Now, when you go in the Unit 1 folder and look at the calendar, you'll notice tonight's homework is textbook problems. If you are in cohort A, you probably don't have your textbook yet. So here's a PDF of the textbook pages for tonight. And then everyone should have their textbook by Monday for that homework. So while we're here, why don't I talk about the AP thing? So in the AP exam folder, there is, so if we go back here, go to the resources, and all AP exam info for the year I'll put in here. There's a file for joining the AP course. And this PDF is the same for all your courses. So there's directions on how to sign up for an account if you don't have an account. And it's step by step, it's pretty self-explanatory. But the thing that will be different for each of your courses is the join code. So for our class, and it's listed under the assignment, or you can see it on your calendar as well of assignments, it's right here. It's that Z427G4. Okay, I'd like you to have that done by Tuesday morning, because then the next step will be getting everyone signed up. We got to get everyone joined first. So see if you can join that this weekend. So let's go back out. Let's show you kind of more of a typical day, what it would look like. That has a lot listed there. So here's Tuesdays, for example. So your homework is just Unit 1, Day 3 homework. So you'll look at the unit calendar, see what the problems are for Day 3, upload them by 5 a.m. The next school day. So the first page is pretty busy. This will be more typical of what a day's assignment looks like. Now, within that, you'll have been joining the class either in person or live as well, so you can ask questions and go through the new material as well. Past week's folders, after they're 2 weeks old, I'll just drop all the folders in there. So if you have to access anything old, so like if you've been absent for a while and you still have to turn stuff in, that's where you could find those. And in remote learning, the discussion boards are going to be huge for us. So early on, the first discussion might be good. So anything that's distance learning related. So if you're unsure, say how to turn in an assignment, if you're unsure where to find different things, post your questions in there. And then the second one are content related questions. So any math questions that you have, you can post in there. Now, the discussion boards are a shared responsibility. It is your responsibility and my responsibility to respond to them. Okay, it's not just me and it's not just you. We're doing this together. And the reason is, one of the things with distance learning is it can sometimes seem a bit isolating. You have a question, there's a big lag time with when you get your questions answered. Well, the discussion board helps speed that up. When there is an unread discussion post, you should see a little orangish icon here. That would tell you you should go look in the discussion board and see what's been posted. Read through the postings, and if there's any questions that you can answer, go ahead and answer them. Okay, sometimes I'll be the first one to get to it and I'll be able to answer it for you. Other times it'll be your classmates that will be the first ones to get there and answer it. But again, if we're all shared in this and answering each other's questions, as a whole, it will help everyone get their questions answered more quickly, because that reduces one of the biggest frustrations about distance learning is when you have a question, not being able to get your question answered right away. Guys, this discussion board, especially the content one throughout the year, the distance learning one maybe just in the beginning of the year, those will be really good resources for you. All right, so I want to just talk about the course expectations sheet quick. So you have the PDF of it here. Normally I would have you and your parents sign it and send it back, but because we're trying to reduce things being passed around, we'll just have it on here. So there's a list of all the different topics that we're going to study and everything. Our goal is preparing for the AP exam in May. The design of our course has led to students doing very well on the AP exam. So our goal is to keep the course as much intact as possible, even though we're learning remotely, so that you all can have the same success that students in the past have had. This is the textbook we're using. Again, if you don't have your textbook yet, you'll be getting it on Monday. Each day, bring your pencil, notebook, Inspire, calculator with you, any handouts, including unit packet, notes, things like that. And anything that we're no longer using, don't throw it out. Keep it at home in some type of folder or a binder. You need to be in class each day, so either in person if it's your in-person day or via the Google Meet. So on Google Meet, you can watch the Google Meet login directions that are linked a few below this. But you go to Google Meet, all you do is you click join a meeting and type in my last name, Engle, and join, and that'll always be the name that we will use to keep things simple. No fancy links or anything, it'll just always be Engel. And so we want you in your seat ready to go, whether you're at home or you're in class, so make sure you're good with the bell schedule. We will rarely have quizzes, but tests will be out of 100 points. We'll have either 1 or 2 tests for each unit. If you're legally absent, you got to make your test up as soon as possible because you're holding up others from getting their tests returned. If you have a music lesson or something, you should plan on arranging a time right away to take any test that you have. So now homework. Homework, I mentioned it with the problem sets, but on the day your homework's due, it needs to be turned in on Schoology by 5 a.m. So like the homework that you have for this weekend, by 5 a.m. on Monday, it needs to be uploaded on Schoology. Now, the intent of that is not to force you to have to wake up at 4:45 a.m. and turn it in. The intent is to have you do it and turn it in the night before. Okay, I don't want you to be having to do it throughout the day when you have your other courses and everything. And the reason 5 a.m. as opposed to 6 a.m., 5 a.m. is when I get up in the morning. So at 5 a.m., I'll be able to log on while I'm eating breakfast, start grading your homeworks, start seeing where there might be common misconceptions, so we can start to plan what we'll talk about for that day's class. Now, still bring your hard copy of your homework either when you're watching remotely or when you're coming to class, because you'll check your answers and we'll let you ask questions at the start of each class. If you have any questions at all on that procedure or anything, feel free to post it on the discussion boards. Graded assignments. Every now and then we'll have graded assignments like problem sets, or I'll have you turn in a problem from the textbook for a grade for correctness. Those will have varying point lengths, and they'll be collected through Schoology as well. Same thing, they'll always be due it at 5 a.m. on the day that they are due. Problem sets you are able to get help on and collaborate on, but that does not mean copying down what someone else has written or what someone else tells you to write down. The 9th period Google Meet helps are a great time to do that because you can't stay after at least at the start of the year. So, but you can join the Google Meet during 9th period and ask questions that you have. Grading is on a total point scale. Extra help, again, you can come during the 9th period Google Meet. And if you ever have questions or anything, and you don't feel comfortable posting it on the discussion board, feel free to email me. My email is right at the top here. Okay, so we're going to have you actually do something now. So we're going to have you sign up for 2 things. So we're going to have you sign up for Edpuzzle and Delta Math. So for Edpuzzle, you're going to go to edpuzzle.com. Okay, and the document's in there if you wanted to pause it and follow along and just do it, or if you want to do it as we're talking through the video. So go to edpuzzle.com. On the top right, it says sign up. You're going to go to I'm a student. You're going to sign in with Google with your FM email. And then once you're in, there will be a box on the bottom left that will say join a class. So you'll click on that and you'll put in this code and it should pop up and say AP Calculus, BC, and everything. Okay, and then you'll be in there, and you'll probably be able to see the Tuesday video, and I'll probably post this in there as well, just in case people had trouble finding it. Okay, but you'll see some videos in there. That's where your videos for Wednesdays, when you're learning asynchronously, will be posted as well. So once you're in Edpuzzle, that's one thing you have to sign up for. The other thing is Delta Math. So you need to go to deltamath.com. In the top right, you can click Create an Account. Now, if you have an account from last year, you could always just sign in with that account. So create an account, student, and then you can, actually, you might have to do create an account and student because I have a different teacher code than whatever your teacher code was last year. So for that teacher code spot, you'll put in my code 105067 and then select 8th period AP Calc BC. So we will have things on Delta Math every now and then, including our first exam is going to be through Delta Math, okay, based on your summer work and what you did last year. All right, so if you need to pause the video to take some time to finish doing those, you can. So calculators. Everyone needs to have a TI Inspire calculator. If you have your own calculator already, you can click on this link here and register your calculator ID number. The directions are in there on how to find that number, home54 about. It's a Google form, and that way if you lose it and we find it, we can look at the ID number and hopefully get it back to you. The other one is the loan out agreement. So if you don't have your own calculator and you usually borrow one from the school, that's the form you need to fill out and bring in. The best calculators, the color ones, go the quickest. So the quicker you're able to get that form in, then the better calculator you will get. And so you can print that out and do it, or I have hard copies of it in class if you're in cohort A and just want a hard copy on Monday. If you are in cohort C and you're fully remote, print that out, fill it out, and either scan it and send it to me or take a picture and send it to me. I'll go down and get the calculator for you, and then I will send that out with the next shipment of stuff on Wednesday. As I mentioned briefly, 9th period will be a Google Meet. You'll just type in Angle, and I'll be in there being able to answer all questions. There'll be students from all different courses. But say if there's a couple people in there that are all working on the same thing, we can always create a side Google Meet, and you can go in that one and discuss, and we can talk about that as well. So your actionable items that you have from this point for the rest of the day is to, if you're already good signing up with Edpuzzle and Delta Math, then you're all set. You need to do the homework problems. Remember, you can get what those homework problems are off the unit calendar here. Under Friday's stuff, so go for this week, go Friday. You have what the textbook problems are here, the actual textbook problems. So you'll upload that on Monday. Problem set you can get started on if you want. Again, it's in the folder under Classroom Resources, but that's not due till next Friday. And then this weekend, I need you to join the College Board class for us. Any questions you have, post them to the discussion boards, and I'll get back to them as quick as you can. Or if you see you can answer someone's, just go ahead and answer that as well.